Good.
Stand by.
Well. Good. I'd like to call this meeting, special meeting of the Board of Assessment Appeals, Wednesday, March 19th at 3:07 p.m. Call the, okay, we're here, call to order, we're all here. I love that. Approval of the September 18th, 2024 meeting minutes. Motion to approve.
Aye.
Motion. Is
Motion to approve.
there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Call the vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? That passes. Next, we're going to set a meeting date for our September hearings. I'm thinking September 15th at 4 o'clock. Does that work for the
Yeah,
board?
I got it in my book.
Yes,
That's
it does work.
Does that work for you?
Do 2 dates just in case, and we'll.
Okay,
Good idea.
that was a great idea.
On Monday, I didn't know this.
I know. Do you want to do this? How about the 17th then at 4?
I don't have anything on my calendar that week, so. That works.
All right, let's do the 15th, September 15th and September 17th, 4 o'clock. Hopefully we'll just pick just one of the days. Okay. Okay. Great. Those are all. Is that the motion then, or if we just set it? If you wanna
Make a motion to set the second meeting for September 17th, 4 p.m.
in the first
Oh,
one.
in the first one, sorry, September 15th, 4 p.m.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
All right, so September 15th, 4 o'clock, September 17th, 4 o'clock for our September meetings. Let's call the vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Passes. All right. Public participation? No one, is anyone else online?
I'm not.
Yeah, well, now you are. Now you are. All right. So next, hearings for real personal property and motor vehicle. All right.
Yeah.
All right. We have John? Right? Yeah, if you're, I know it's early, but if you want to come on up.
Yeah, I'm ready.
You're ready?
I'm ready.
All
You guys ready?
We are ready.
right.
How's everybody doing?
And this one,
What? Yes, let me swear you in. Raise your right hand. All right, do you solemnly swear and sincerely affirm, as the case may be, that the evidence you shall give concerning this case shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God, or upon penalty of perjury?
I do.
So this is about your 2023 Nissan Rogue. Okay, this is for the supple bill or the regular bill?
So I'm a little confused on the billing, so I apologize in advance. So I had a 2020 Nissan Rogue that I leased and I gave it up in November of 2023.
Okay,
And I purchased another Nissan for 2023.
okay,
And what happened was they didn't cancel the plates, which I later come to find out they should have done. But the dealer said, let's just transfer the plates. So I said, whatever, I'm not in the business. I said, whatever's easier,
did that happen?
That happened in December of 2023.
Okay,
I
okay,
purchased the vehicle.
Yeah.
So part of the leasing agreement is if the plate carries on, I'm responsible for the taxes. So it carried on onto the Nissan Road. So they got a bill for $475 and some change in July of 2024, which Nissan pays, because part of the leasing agreement is that they pay the tax bill and then in return, I make them whole.
Mhm.
So I got a copy from October of 2024 for the $475 that they paid and some change. And I cut a check and then mailed it to them. In January, I get a supplemental bill for $540
Okay,
890.
I got you.
So I came on January 13th to pay another tax. I've been here 25 years. I never had any issues. And I asked the town tax collector to look into the supplemental bill that I got for the Nissan Newington. And they, in turn, pointed me to the town assessor's office.
Gotcha.
You guys have the copies I provided, correct?
Yeah, there's only two, Danielle,
But
Yeah.
correct, but for each member.
So you said you do one copy. So
Yeah,
I-
but each all of us need it, so we can look at it.
Oh,
There was
so
only
you
two.
want that?
Yes.
Yeah, I think you were saying.
I have a copy if you guys want it. I don't need it.
It's here, we just missed.
Okay,
it.
yeah. We'll get it. Cool. Okay.
So January 13th, I had spoken. I don't want to be rude. I don't want to butcher the last name. So I spoke to Danielle
Mhm.
and I explained the situation to her. And I showed her the canceled check. I had it on the telephone. I had it on the telephone and I showed her the thing from Nissan. And I said, I think there's an error and I just want the bill to be, reflective of what I owe because I already made Nissan whole. So on January 13th, like I said, I spoke to Danielle and she goes, well, how do I know that's legit?
Okay. Okay.
Why would I make up documents in a canceled check? So then on January 15th, the assessor sends Nissan a release form for 40802. 2 days later, I guess Danielle gave it to the assessors so they can send out for them to get a refund. They weren't due a refund. I was due a refund or just an adjustment on my taxes.
Gotcha. So what you're appealing is your tax, so what's the value of the vehicle?
I don't know, it's like $30,000. I'm not appealing the value of the vehicle. I'm appealing what
The
happened.
reimbursement, you're saying the reimbursement went to the wrong people. wrong person.
Correct.
So at the BAA, you're appealing the valuation.
Correct.
What you're saying is the taxes and everything else, that's not with
Correct.
us. That's what
So the
assessor's office-
408, so I guess because there was a couple months
Yeah.
due for the 2020,
Yes,
they took that and the 408 out of the 475 and 2 cents, they sent to them for a release form. So I spoke to Nissan in February and they said it was mailed on the 15th from the town and they received it on the 29th. And they told me they weren't gonna sign for it because they already made whole.
gotcha. Okay,
So I paid the tax for the 548 and I paid for the 475. I basically paid over $1,000.
And Nissan saying they didn't get that check.
I haven't talked to them since, man. I've not talked to them since.
so on 10/1 of 23, Nissan owned the vehicle, or you leased it. And then you purchased it,
No, I purchased it, that's the confusing part. I purchased it in 2023 of December.
yeah, so 10/1 of 23.
But the plate carried over onto the vehicle and that's what is causing.
Understood. So 10/1 of 23, Nissan, they owned it, you leased it.
Correct,
Okay, so December of 23, you purchased it.
correct. And I gave the 2020 back.
Gotcha.
It's a brand new vehicle. It's not a,
Understood.
right.
So you received the tax bill then,
I didn't receive a tax bill until January this year, sir.
that's right. Okay,
Because
Yep.
the problem was.
Yes.
The transfer of the plate.
so, yeah, so what it sounds like,
And I showed,
it's between you and the leasing company, it depends on the leasing papers.
I came back the next day and I showed her that they paid the tax and I make them whole, which I did.
Correct. So that's between you and the leasing company. That is nothing.
Do we know that that Nissan accepted this money and cashed it?
I talked to them
No,
in
that's what I'm
February,
saying. That seems like that would be my.
correct, but they told me they weren't gonna sign the paper.
Yeah, at the end of the day, you're appealing the valuation of the vehicle, not how. the
I don't know, yeah,
process-
I don't know.
So that's what you're appealing here today. What the payments and everything, it sounds like we're gonna find out from the assessor's office what they did, but if there's nothing else about the valuation that,
It's not the value, I'm not,
Right. I think we all understand where you're coming from.
Yeah, it's
We can't
confusing,
make
yeah.
the decision to say, hey, he's didn't cash the check, they did cash the check. It
Right,
sounds
but
like.
what I'm saying though is why wasn't this just looked into? This could have been, rectified earlier,
I would leave here and I would call my son, what I would do.
Yeah, I would call me some.
right? But my question though is, why would you refund them the money when I made the whole? That's what I'm trying to say, that I got the paperwork here, why would you send them the money or the
Because they're
form?
the owners of the vehicle, not you.
Mhm.
They're the ones that pay the check.
So so they paid it, you make them whole after between you and Nissan. But the town doesn't know that part,
Correct.
Town doesn't have your lease agreement in front of them.
Yeah.
All they know
No,
is that
I
lease
understand that, but when you guys received the 475 to send them, they paid it. And then I made them whole, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yeah,
So Nissan, I would call Nissan and they owe you a check. You should only have to pay them for 3 months.
What if they didn't cash the check or they didn't accept it? So
That's between you and Nissan, not
So
you and
hold
the
on, let
town.
me ask you this though.
Yep.
They got a paperwork or a release form to take that money back. If
Yes,
they didn't take that money back, like he told me he wasn't gonna do, where is the 40802 then? That's my,
they paid the town, so the town would have that. So they would have to lay claim and ask for a refund. Because they were the owners and they're the ones that paid the tax bill. So it's between you and Nissan.
Danielle told me that
contact
I was the
Nissan.
owner.
No, Nissan was on 10/1/23, Nissan was the owner.
Correct. And it was the 2 months, like I said, so they paid 475 and I forgot, but they
They owe you,
40802.
yes, so you have to contact Nissan for that 408 and change.
Okay.
That has
Can you
nothing to do with this
Can you
board.
just answer this one question?
Yes,
Then why was a release form sent to Nissan for 40802 from the town collector's office?
because there was a CSC done. There was a certificate of correction that they sold the vehicle to you in December. So essentially what that bill is, from October to December, they owned it. And then December through
So the partial
September,
payment, correct,
it was to you.
right,
Yes,
because the plate being carried over.
that's correct.
What I'm just having a hard time understanding is why were they sent 40802 for the release?
Because they paid the tax bill.
For when it was owned.
When it was owned by
Nissan.
them.
Correct. But then, like I said, I made them whole for that.
No, yes, you have to ask them for that 40802 or whatever the change was.
Okay, so my final question is, if they didn't accept the money, it should be here then. Because they got the paperwork in January.
That's between, you'd have to contact the tax collector on that. That has nothing to do with us.
can you, is there a way to find out if these checks, they
Through the tax office, whether.
He would have to go to the tax
Yeah.
office.
So this board, just
Yeah.
right, the board, so people come to us to.
I don't have a problem with the valuation.
And that-
I understand. Listen, I have no problem
That's what
paying my
our
taxes.
role is.
Yeah,
So
that's what our role-
yours
I hear-
is
You know
tax,
exactly
yeah.
what happened to you, and
Yeah.
it's one of those situations where it's like,
Yep.
who's right, and not that anybody's right or wrong, it's just where's the money, right? So the
But-
town did return it to who the owner was, however, you also made a payment.
To them.
to
Yeah.
be
And I
clear.
have the proof here that I did make
It's
the
clear
payment.
that you're owed the money, the question is who has it right now, and we
Well,
can't help you with. that.
Logically, it shouldn't have been sent to them. That's the whole
Yeah, and
thing.
again, we couldn't even help you even if I had a. It's not what our role is, so we have no access to that, so I would call the tax department and call them.
Yeah.
To find out who has the money, because the town will have record that the cash was checked, that check was cashed. And Nissan will have record that they took it in, whether they did, I don't know.
Yeah.
We don't know. I'm sorry, it was a waste of time to sit here, I hear your frustration. I
Yeah.
No,
know.
it's just, it's infuriating because you make them whole, you follow by the guidelines.
Yeah.
And then I'm showing you that it was paid. I didn't make this stuff up, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
No, I don't think anybody does, just find out
Yeah.
where it went, that's it.
Well, so I have to fight another battle, I guess.
thank you very
Good
much.
luck.
Good luck.
I'm out 40802 though.
Right.
Do you have a list of who we're seeing today? I haven't seen that. Oh, this is it?
Yes.
Short. little one.
What's this, what do I have here? What's it?
Oh, that goes. Alright. Who's next, Daniel?
Kennedy. What's your name?
Oh, Nick Miller, I'm here for Rosemary Crowd.
Okay. You want to do that? I mean, this is here, that would be the one, 335.
Okay. Three.
Come on down.
Come on down.
I feel lonely out here.
All right.
I just give you the plan and I'll read it. So, yeah.
Hold on. So, who are you serving?
Douglas and Rosemary Crowd.
Yes,
Oh.
I have, an agent certification form if anyone needs to see that.
Yes, I'd like to see that.
Uh,
If you didn't, we couldn't swear you in.
Yeah, that's fine.
Excellent. All right, I'll keep this with the
Yeah,
record.
you can have it.
Perfect.
Or,
Will you raise your right hand, please?
Yep.
You solemnly swear or solemnly and sincerely affirm, as the case may be, that the evidence you shall give concerning this case shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God, and upon trying to get perfect.
yes.
Okay,
What do you get? So. What do you think the value of the house is?
Well, I have no idea. I don't live there.
Oh, okay.
No, this is something to do with, I guess, three season porch.
Okay,
We changed their 3-season porch to livable.
okay.
oh, okay, is there heat, is there window,
What is,
there heat source on the porch?
I think
No,
they'll
there's
break-
not.
A breakdown of the assessment.
is there ceiling? Is there walls?
I mean, there's a ceiling and walls that's built over a crawl space.
Is there heat?
There's no heat in it, no.
Full windows, full season windows? But no heat source.
That I don't know. I mean, it's warmed by the sun.
Was there a permit pull that made the change effective? Was something, what made the change?
I was told, because again, I'm just talking to my mom who's in Florida right now, that somehow they got some documents saying it was being reassessed and, you know, she had to appear this hearing. They're in Florida, so they couldn't come, so I'm here. I mean, I've been to the room. I can tell you about it from that experience. And I did live there like 20 years ago, huh?
Did someone come into the house?
So
Did
what?
someone come into the house? And I'm just wondering what initiated the change.
I don't know.
I might have been permit work on something else.
Permit May of 2024, why am I sent you?
Yeah, I mean, I know someone put an AC unit out.
Oh, so there's an AC unit in that space.
Yes.
That's why. I bet.
So in the summertime, I guess.
So it would be making it a finished room, I would think, if there's air conditioning in it. Because it's also a heat source, if it's a.
No,
It's a split.
it does, no, it does not. It's just an AC unit.
So it must be, I mean, that permit must have.
Okay. All right.
Do we have everything we need? Anything else that you want to provide to us?
No, I mean, I don't know if you guys need to look at it or not, but,
No, we're good.
all right.
We'll deliberate a little bit later and we'll decide if we sent the notice to them.
Okay,
Within the next 2 weeks.
Do you have a
Okay.
picture of the room by any chance?
do I? No.
Okay, just
No,
wondering.
but I mean. Only thing I can attest to is having been there in the winter time, because I'm gonna go there right now because my job is not to inspect the property, is that in the winter time, it gets very, very cold. They actually seal it up from the rest of the house.
Thank you.
So if that helps at all,
A good son.
all right.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, folks. Take care.
I should sit over there. Town hall has me as having a deck. I never had a deck.
I know it. Anything else for you?
Yes.
Alrighty,
You're up.
come on up.
You are, even if you're not.
All right. Let me know you're ready. Swear you in.
Sure, I am an attorney.
Oh, so never mind then.
If I may approach it, I have a card for the record.
Sure. Excellent. All right. This is their personal property.
It is.
Okay.
It comes with a bit of a story as I work through the assessor's office, a number of questions. So
Excellent. So go right ahead. So,
for the record, Nicholas Beatty, I'm with the law firm of Harris Beach Murtha. That's actually my old business card that says Murtha Kalina. We've merged as of the first of the year and I'm waiting new ones. But I'm here representing Newington Ice Arena LLC, who is an out-of-state property owner, imported for the record. They purchased the property, the ice rink, in December of 22.
okay.
Filed a personal property return for 2023. Filed the 2024 personal property return, but weren't aware that they had filed that. It comes with a little bit of an explanation. They received a notice of assessment change based upon what was the 2024 declaration that was filed, and it went up astronomically, to the tune of 856% increase in personal property, from $533,000, 400 in assessed value to 5,100,720. So this is a Maryland company, Black Bear Sports, which owns Newington Ice Arena, and they have these types of arenas all throughout the course of the country, up and down the Northeast. They called their assessment attorney down in Maryland and said, "Hey, what's going on? Why did you get such a big assessment?" He said, "I have no idea about Connecticut law." Sent them to me. So I start digging in, asking questions, essentially. Let me see your declarations that you filed for the past 2 years. Let me see your tax returns, all sorts of background information. They did not have a copy of their 2024 declaration. So instead, I asked the assessor how they based this number. And they simply said, well, it's based upon what they filed for 2024 and the declaration. The short of the matter was, and this is why I say it's an important to understand that they're out-of-state property owners and are just getting used to the Connecticut filing system. They included the ice rink, the realty of $6,650,000 in their initial declaration filing, which it shouldn't have. The real estate, although likely I'm guessing the assessor will increase it based upon purchase price next year in connection with the revaluation. The personal property really did not change from a year-over-year basis from 2023 to 2024. It took a little bit of investigation and some pandering with the client to figure that out, but we finally did. And basically, it was last minute. So I filed an appeal just to preserve their rights, to figure out what happened, and then hopefully come to you guys with a corrective action. I have.
Do you have a detailed asset list of everything?
I do.
Okay.
I mean, so there are a couple of lessees in the property who also do pay personal property. It's nominal in nature, but there are other entities that are paying personal properties under separate declarations for tenant personal property. The detailed list consists of mostly rink equipment, Zamboni, and the ice arena equipment. I do have it in my packet that I will provide to you for the record. And I don't know, I have 3 copies with me, one of which is mine. Is one copy good for the record?
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
So essentially what I'm going to be submitting is an amended declaration with the correct number of personal property declared. That's exhibit A.
Okay.
Exhibit B is the detailed list of fixed assets at the property, which include Zamboni and ice equipment, and ice edger machine, and ice plant and equipment. I mean, it's not extremely detailed, but that I'm told that that's consistent with previous filings, and that's what they have there in terms of their personal property. I also have the general ledger, although it is attributable to the 2023 calendar year. It does show you the $6,650,000 real estate value that was listed incorrectly on their 2024 declaration, which should, in my estimation, just be reversed out. And then I've also just included the property record field card, which really is meant to show that the real estate here is not changing. They're paying consistent as we're mid reval cycle, and personal property bills for both real property and the personal property. And if it were to stand that all of a sudden they had a $5.5 million personal property assessment, which they don't have that equipment at the actual property, I mean, their tax bill would go up astronomical. So if I may approach, I will
Absolutely.
submit. Well, this packet. And I will also note for the record that the BAA form that was submitted before you was an incorrect number based upon further investigation. And the amended declaration that I'm filing, I've written the number in here as to what's being compared. It is still more than last year. I will note $218,719.
Okay. That's A.
This is just a copy
Oh,
of
okay.
the EA submission with the corrected number. I don't have an exhibit number on it.
Oh, okay.
And this is just exhibit A through.
Okay.
Yeah. Just in closing, I know that I basically stated for the record that I brought the appeal just to preserve their appellate rights. I do believe Connecticut law would allow the assessor on a mistaken personal property declaration under Connecticut General Statute, section 12-63, subsection 11, to correct the mistaken. But I'm asking for the board's help in doing so.
We will take a look.
If you have any questions as to me trying to point you to the right direction or highlight certain items for you.
The one, it's. This is the one, right?
Yeah.
Okay. This is the new
Fixed assets.
return, right?
Yeah, that's the fixed asset
You
schedule.
can come up if you want.
The amended return is exhibit A, so it's gonna be cover page exhibit A.
Okay.
First 8 pages
Put that on there.
are the amended return.
Okay, so this is your amended, okay.
Correct.
Now I got you.
So on page number 5 of the amended return is where their number is listed.
Okay.
It's this 819,
806 to 818.
818, 719, 98 figure.
Okay,
Yes, and it did go up, and this has been signed by Dragonet, who's the CFO of Black Bear Sports and the parent company that owns.
okay, now I got you. Okay. Okay. Perfect. That's all we need. That's all we need. I'm all set. Are you all set?
Yeah.
You all set?
I am.
All right, thank you so much. we'll deliberate in a little bit and, probably within 2 weeks. You'll hear a decision.
Great, thank
We'll
you.
mail you a decision.
There was actually some discrepancy in their mailing address as well. Is it all right if if it goes to my office? If I could just put a note?
All correspond, you want all correspondence to here, just the.
Just the, I just need the notice.
Talk with-
You wanna,
I know that the here,
Yeah, you can speak with Danielle about that.
okay, yeah, and Danielle and I were
yeah.
discussing because she got returned mail from the address that they had on file.
Put this all together.
Big clip, please. That's a big
But
one.
I can go.
Well, there's a big one on that. I'll swap that.
Yeah. You should know this is not here. Let's do this again.
That was- You know, can you keep these separate, right? Yeah.
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 As I took that off, I'm like, wait a second.
And then the big, yeah.
I'm like, Tim,
I
you
saw
saw
it.
it. You
This
saw
is
it.
the newest one.
Yes. Let's put that on and we'll just follow. See. You saw me. All right. Yeah. Love it. So we had, so the 320 is essentially not
Are
coming.
your mics on?
The three, is it? Hello? All right, so let's,
Hold on, I don't think the mics. Can you do it? Push the button on the mic. So it goes green.
yep, can you hear me? Here, okay. Newington Ice Arena, so, all right. So Danielle, for the record, what happened here? Personal property?
We accepted the declaration as it was reported. We did notice that there was an increase, and so on January 21st, we sent an email to the owner of the property, the business, to clarify the reported amounts. We did not hear anything back from that owner, and at that time, we did then enter it as reported, assuming that they knew what they were reporting when they did it.
We right with you, sir. What's your name, sir?
That's Shaw's Hello.
Yep, we'll be right with you. Yep, 350, yeah, we still got some time. Okay. What's their current assessment?
Their current assessment is $5,100,000, $100,720.
What are they gonna say only?
This is for personal property.
Personal
Just for
property.
personal property.
But they included the real estate. That's why it's at 5.1.
So the attorney came in, he presented a new declaration for 818,719.98. I think it's a little low, but, so what do we want to do?
And what was the year before again?
806, I believe, last year. 806 last year.
Yes,
This is with the amended declaration. I feel like I feel like they've listed 3 assets which with their values, but I feel like it's an incomplete list of the assets necessary to run an ice rink.
it was 533,400 for 23.
And then 24. What?
5.1.
But he's amending it to 8,
He wants it 818.
by removing the real estate as it should be. So I don't know, I just feel 818, 2023 was low, but 818 is so low for.
Okay. Yeah, I feel like
But it's still 5 million more.
yeah, I feel like the 5 million, that's high. There's a lot more than that in there. If the office wants to audit, they can do that in the future. Part of me's thinking to drop it to 2 million.
The number I was thinking too.
So. Okay. So the number, the big number.
It's a big number.
Yeah.
But it's a big business.
Yeah, so the assessment's 5,100,720.
Mhm.
So I make a motion to drop that for a new assessment of 2 million. Even.
I second that motion.
Any discussion?
So instead of 5, it's gonna be 2.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
I got it.
Yep.
It's on me.
Yep. Let's call the vote. All those in favor?
I
Aye. All opposed? Passes. Just, all right. Sure, you can come right up. All right, on Fen Road. All right, just raise your right hand. All right. Do you solemnly swear and sincerely affirm, as the case may be, that the evidence you shall give concerning this case shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God, or upon penalty of perjury? Okay. Would you tell us what this is personal property?
Yes, so this is personal property. And the reason we're here, or I am here, I guess, is this is the first time we will be getting our tax bill,
Okay.
and that's fine, we're ready for that. So last year, there was supposedly a notice sent out to fill out that personal property declaration. We did not get it. As soon as we got the second notice saying, hey, you're past due, I was here meeting with Brianna at the assessor's office the very next day, once we got the notice. So we got her everything that she wanted, filled it out, everything was all done. But then I was advised that, hey, because you're late from X date, you will be charged a 20% penalty.
Yep.
So the reason I'm here is to challenge or appeal that 20% penalty. And the sincere reason behind that is we never got the notice. As soon as we got the notice, I was here in person very next day, making sure the town has everything they need from us. I don't think there's any prejudice to the town by the delay that was caused by us not receiving the notice. The tax bill isn't out yet. I don't know if it's calculated yet. And I do think it's prejudice to us to being, 20% is a pretty hefty amount. So I really request for that to be reconsidered.
So let's see, your penalty. So your penalty amount, Danielle, what's 50,140 times the mill rate? What's that? Thank you.
Here, should be right here.
25.
Tax bill, taxes.
5140.
Yeah.
Times 0.03.
Ah, that's why. Okay, thank you. So you're appealing, so what you said, so you're appealing the values are, you're okay with the values, just the penalty?
Correct. I haven't seen the tax bill. We're okay with the values. We declared everything as was asked. I filled in person with Brianna and we did the
Okay.
form together.
Okay.
And it was just that when I was advised of the 20% penalty, that's what got us very concerned.
Understood,
Yeah.
understood.
And we want to have a good relationship with the town. We've had a good relationship with the town.
Absolutely.
I think nobody serves the community like we do.
Yeah, absolutely. Unfortunately, if you file after November 1st, there is a 25% penalty and you cannot appeal that. That is state statute. So for us to go against that, we'd be breaking the law. 2, you are a in-town business. So technically the assessor's office does not need to send you a personal property declaration. So they send it to everyone. So for that reason, there's really nothing we can do for those two, for not sending the deck and for the 25% penalty.
So, I mean, I was here to get things better. You're saying that you're gonna make it worse for me, which I'm not happy about.
Yeah, state
She
statute
said
says
it's 20%. Now you're saying it's 25%.
it's 25%, yeah.
Yeah, so the number we were told is 20%. And I'm a lawyer myself. I haven't read the statute yet, but I know every law, there's things that you can argue both sides. I haven't looked at that statute. If you want to share it with me, and if it was shared with me, I could, do some more on it. But I just think on a humanitarian basis, on every basis, it's just a steep penalty for no reason.
Nah, I'm very sorry.
Something has to be done. And I was told by Brianna that my only avenue is to make the appeal, and that's what we did. So whatever the direction we were given by the office, we followed that.
Okay. Yeah.
And I don't even know what the amount is. I haven't even seen the tax bill. Nobody has sent it yet.
The tax bill won't be sent out until July.
So
You're looking at about for the assessment, the penalty is about 50,000 in assessment, which is about, what was that? How much was that again in taxes? About $2,000 in taxes.
that's a pretty hefty penalty.
Yeah, there's nothing we can do because you filed late. I'm very sorry.
But we never got the notice.
Yeah. You technically don't need to send it out.
So how are we supposed to find out that?
They're supposed to do a legal notice in the newspaper, and that would tell you to come in and fill a personal property form out as a business owner.
Should they have told us when we opened the business here? Who would have told us about that?
You would have to
Am I
take a
supposed
look
to
in
dream
the,
about it, like,
Yeah.
Information packet
like from whom?
from our office.
You mean about the disclosure or,
Well, it has information on those.
no, you mean
I'm pretty sure we sent you.
when you're saying when we had to fill it out, are you talking about that one?
No.
Yeah. Okay, but we haven't seen anything on,
Well, I would make sure with the office that you're.
yeah, we do, because we got your second notice that you sent.
Mhm.
So we never got the first one.
All right.
I would still, expect and hope you do something for us.
We'll gather the information that you gave for us and said, and we'll make a decision, and within 2 weeks, we'll send you a notice of our decision.
Appreciate it.
Okay,
All right.
thank you so much. You live?
Are.
Who's that?
Not mine.
Jeez, Louise,
Mine.
oh, neat that is.
That's mine.
I know so here.
Who do we have first?
What? Oh, I'm gonna do him right now. So, so John, so this was the car. Honestly, he was appealing his taxes and the process. I feel like there's nothing we can do.
There's no, our hands are tied. We don't have the authority to do it, make a decision on it.
What a mess.
It's between him and the leasing company.
Yeah.
So, make a motion to deny.
Yes, motion to, I accept the motion and I second that.
All right, any discussion? Call the vote, all in favor?
I
All opposed? Passes,
will get his money. Just not to fight for it.
or. Where's the form?
Got it right here?
Yeah,
Oh, I signed the copy.
yes.
I did no changes.
All right, Superior Ave. So this one. The addition is still 3-season room. There's no heat in that room, and it's going to be used in the spring, summer, and fall. It sits over a crawl space, not a foundation. Danielle, did you go out there? Who went out there?
Nobody went out there.
How did it change?
The permit for the air conditioning that was pulled, air conditioning was put in
Yeah. That's probably why we went.
in May.
and-
Yeah, it says 24 brandless sketch adjust 3S to 1 SFR in central air.
And I added the central air. So I was a part of permit work, just going through the permit, like mechanical permits quickly. And so I'd be reviewing all the properties as I go through them. You can make it. Yeah, but, it's really difficult to do.
With air conditioning.
What do you think?
If it's in the summertime, and, you know,
Yeah, sun beats
My old
down.
house was like that, yeah.
Yeah,
otherwise it'd be a two-season.
right. I mean, if there's been no other structural changes and it's still a porch with no heat, then I would say it should be changed back to a 3-season room.
Yeah. Could you let us know if you change it back to a 3-season, what the assessment
I
would
did,
be?
it's all broken down.
Oh, we go.
There.
All right, so right now it's 137,630, and if we change it back, it'd be 128,820.
Mhm.
All right,
I did no assessment.
so I make a motion to change the assessment to 128,820. So to change it back to a 3-season porch.
I second that motion.
Any discussion?
That's easy.
Call the vote, all in favor?
I,
Aye. All opposed? Passes. I'll be happy. All right, and then Fen Road. Personal property, he was appealing the 25% penalty, there's nothing we can do. He said his values were all correct. He filled it out, it was just the penalty. There's really nothing we can do because of that.
oh, he put 20. That's why he was thinking 20.
Yep. So
I make a motion to deny.
I
Can't do
second
anything.
that. Any discussion? Call the vote, all in favor?
I,
Aye. All opposed? Passes.
Way to learn a lesson.
I know, it's an expensive one.
All right. Our 320 and 345. See. What are these now? What are these?
Gennady Adaminsky,
And
Guyton Mitchell
Smiley's Logistics.
of Smiley's Logistics.
I make a motion to dismiss, no show, those two.
I second that.
Any discussion? Call the vote, all in favor?
I,
It's easy.
Yes, aye. All opposed? Passes. All right. I don't think there's anything, we don't need to sign anything for that, right? Oh, perfect. Yep, sign it. Sign for both.
oh, Sherry marked it.
Yes, dismissed. Means they didn't come.
And it's like, oh, there it is. I was looking for that.
So they're gonna get a notice of, they didn't hear. I remembered everything. All right. You heard everything. We said the September date. We're all good. Do I hear-
Am I doing this one, sir?
Just that one.
Just saying.
Just
Is
that.
my reval in the mail today? Did I see it? I found my email from the mailman. In the mail today, right? Can't wait to get it.
Can't. Do I, well,
Revals
do
are
I
in
hear
the
a,
mail today.
do I have a motion to adjourn?
Yes, you do. I move to adjourn.
Second that. All in favor? We adjourn at 4:09 PM. Thank you, everyone.
Before Kathleen